Hi folks, hopefully a quick video here. I've mentioned this a few times before, but I think it's worthy of being mentioned again and again and again and again and again, because people don't seem to be taking notice of it. If you look at the nature of the church, where anything said has got to be encouraging. That even when someone, what they offer is, nothing really. Certainly nothing of God. You can only say something encouraging about that. That you tell people, oh, well done. Yeah, good bit of preaching there, Alistair. Yeah, when clearly it was awful, but you can't say it's awful because that's not encouraging. Put it this way, the church, religious church, the Jewish church at the time of Yeshua, that would have been a very encouraging church to themselves. They would have been going around patting each other on the back, wouldn't they? They'd have been going around telling each other what a wonderful job they were doing and how of God they were. And, because they walked around as if they were that. They walked around as if they were super spiritual and that they were God's representative upon this earth, and that their word was holy, and etc, etc, etc. They would tell each other that. They would encourage each other in that way. The same as the church now. That when what they're doing is, if anything, demonic. We'll put it this way. Alistair's preaching about a number of weeks ago. As I've said before, there's only really two things you can be of. Either it's of God or it's of the devil. What he preached on that day, it was so inaccurate. His examples were incredibly poor examples, and then he was speaking about the fact that after the Lord was dead, he said it's finished. Well, therefore it's incredibly inaccurate. That means it can't be of God, which means it must be of the devil. So therefore people of the church going around saying, oh, well done, Alistair, fantastic. What? How can you be saying that's fantastic? How can you be saying? He was talking, as I said, he was talking about the fact of, Adam should have told the snake to leave Eve alone. Well, that couldn't happen. That was an impossibility that conversation could happen, because if it did, we wouldn't be here. Yeshua would never have come down to be the Lamb of God. Sin had to enter the world. But of course, he couldn't see that, could he? He then started having a go about the religious people, that they could have freed whatever the bloke's, I've forgotten his name for a second, but the criminal. Well, that again, if that happened, then Yeshua would never have been crucified. So why? Those points were demonic. The examples were demonic. Then he was talking about the fact that we're told that our leaders, we should pray for our leaders, but some leaders are bad, so we shouldn't pray for them. But hold it, all leaders are bad, according to most of the people in their countries. Most of the people believe that their leaders are bad. So we shouldn't pray for any of our leaders then. Okay, that's what he said. So people then saying, oh, well done. And they're saying that I'm the one in the wrong for pointing out that what he said was insanely, that he should never have been put up there. Again, I wasn't judging Alistair. I was saying he should never be put up there, because anyone who doesn't understand those things should never be put up to speak, to preach. Anyone who doesn't understand that Adam could never have told the devil to back off and not speak to his wife at all. And that Barabbas could not have been not set free. Yeah, so the Lord would be okay and not being crucified. It'd be Barabbas who would be crucified. That could never have been the situation at all. Never. That could have been the devil's way. So sin would never have been sorted out. That would have been the devil's way. And he's saying that that should have been the way. Really? If that had been the way, if the Lord had been set free and Barabbas had been crucified, then would our sins have been covered? No. So, come on, folks. How can you say anything encouraging about what he said? Anything encouraging about what he said? All you can say encouraging is, well, okay, you got up there. That took a bit of guts. That's all you can say that's encouraging to that. You can't say any more. But when people are patting him on the back, oh, well done, Alexander, well done, brilliant. Excuse me, did you listen? Well, they did listen. The problem is they don't understand. They think that was good. If they truly think that was good, then my God, the church is in a far worse situation than any of us could ever have understood. But as I say, no. The church is in the same situation as it was in the time of before, when Yeshua was crucified. That church that crucified him. They've got each other's back even when they're wrong. That's what churchiness means, that you've got each other's back even when you're wrong. Even when you're going down a path that is demonic, you've got each other's back. You'll encourage each other to go down those paths, even when that path is demonic. As I say, I can't understand that. I cannot. I can't understand those people, because I can understand that at some point they gave their life to God because I was in that same situation. But they took a path and I took a different path. That's not because at that point I was better than them. Not at any point in time. It's just because of the fact that naturally I'm someone who asks questions, and I've always have been someone who asks questions. And at that point in time, I looked at the church, I looked at the Bible, and I said, how on earth, and this is quite a fair question, how on earth are we in a worse position, or in a lesser position, should we say, than the early church? See, the early church didn't have the New Testament. Church of Corinth may have had the first letter and second letter to the Corinthians, but they wouldn't have had the Ephesians or Galatians or Romans or Acts. They wouldn't have had any of that at all. We have all of that. We have the Gospels. We have all the rest. They didn't have any of that, and they were in a stronger position than we are. We are far weaker now than they were. Now, to me, I look at that and say, how on earth is that possible? How on earth do people in the church, how can they look at that and look at themselves and say, we're doing well? See, I don't get that. I don't understand how they can be thinking that they are doing well. It makes no sense at all. No sense in any way, shape or form. No. But that's what I say about asking questions to God, about where we are and how we're doing, and do the church really ask those questions? And I think the answer is probably no. There's a lot of questions we should be asking. And yeah, there are tough questions that we should ask ourselves and each other. And in churchy meetings, like they have that Tuesday night meeting down there, used to be called like a prayer meeting or a Bible study, but they have this life group which it sounds quite wokey, doesn't it, really? It probably is a bit wokey. So that's probably where it's come from. That sort of new agey sort of church. But as I say, do they ask themselves any tough questions in those groups? I don't think so, no. Anyway, there you go. Ask yourself tough questions and encourage other people to do the same with you and do the same with them. God bless. Bye-bye.